This Shohei Ohtani situation it's sketchy. Something smells. Because the main narrative right now is that baseball's biggest star has been betrayed. Or for those that don't watch the sport, Shohei Ohtani is amazing. Arguably the most impressive athlete the MLB has ever seen. A top-tier pitcher and a top-tier hitter. That just doesn't happen. And so being that level of athlete, he just signed this ridiculously big deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, everything's really messy because there are allegations that Shohei Ohtani's longtime friend, his longtime interpreter, Ippei Mitsuhara, that he stole millions of dollars from his friends to place bets with a bookmaker already under investigation by the federal government. And I want to stress this before we really dive in. This is a developing story. With the LA Times, right, the ones who first reported this story, saying that both Ohtani and Mitsuhara had not replied to a request for comment. Meanwhile, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts replying to any questions on the matter like this.
On that, can't comment. Anything with that, the meeting, can't comment. Again, can't say anything. Not going to comment, guys.
With that said, a loose chain of events has sort of started to come together. So basically, the Times first reported that Ohtani's name had surfaced in a federal investigation of a bookie by the name of Matthew Bowyer, who reportedly bragged to associates in Las Vegas that he had a connection with Ohtani. But then a source said Bowyer was just throwing around Ohtani's name for clout, with his lawyer saying Matthew Bowyer never met, spoke with, or texted or had contact in any way with Shohei Ohtani. But then a spokesperson for Ohtani told ESPN that the baseball player was in fact helping his friend Mitsuhara pay off gambling debts to Bowyer. And in an interview, Mitsuhara repeated this claim, also adding that Ohtani had zero involvement in the betting. Right? Notably at this point, this would already be a violation by Mitsuhara, because MLB gambling policy prohibits any player, umpire, or club, or league official or employee from betting on sports. But there's also more, because yesterday, seemingly out of nowhere, Ohtani's law firm released a statement saying, Shohei has been the victim of a massive theft and we are turning the matter over to the authorities, with two sources telling the LA Times that the amount of money involved was in the millions of dollars. And on the same day, Mitsuhara walked back on what he had previously told ESPN, saying Ohtani had no knowledge at all of his gambling activities or his efforts to repay the debt. And he was also fired that day. And so because the stories have already changed, you have people going, okay, what's real? Because one of the narratives is this is just like the ultimate betrayal. Right? Ohtani and Mitsuhara, like they're more than colleagues. Right? Ohtani is incredibly private and Mitsuhara has just kind of always been there. Right? Like the two show up to the ballpark together. They are rarely seen away from each other. But that's also why we've seen kind of increased speculation that Ohtani and Mitsuhara maybe were in bed together. Gambling-wise, I mean. And that maybe Mitsuhara is just kind of the fall guy. But again, all of this is still developing, and so we're gonna have to wait to see how this plays out, what comes out.